Right then, hello, cool. It's Thursday and I'm back with some more Planet Coaster. Planet Coaster? Planet Coaster, because I was really enjoying playing Planet Coaster. I just need to check to make sure the sound is working because I've been bitten by that way too many times in the past. Yep, that's all good. Fantastic. So, making a park in the sky. Continuing. So obviously, I don't have a lot of time when I stream, which is a bit of a shame. So we don't get to make a lot of progress, but any progress is better than no progress. Unfortunately, I started a bit late today because I had a slightly late dinner. But see how we get on today. We're going to try and finish off this island a bit. And then I think it'd be a good idea to maybe get like at least an island or a ride somewhere would be a good start. So I think it would be a really good idea. I think what we need to do is we kind of need to roughen this up slightly, roughen up the underside of this, because at the moment it's looking a bit round, which isn't, it's not, it doesn't look, it looks okay, but it doesn't look that great. Kind of just need to add a bit more kind of rockiness to it and give it a bit more of a feel of texture and a bit more than just like a blob of rock that was made using the paintbrush or whatever it is, the terrain brush. How do you turn on the light? No idea. Okay, never mind. There is a flashlight tool, but I can't remember what it was. It's not gonna look perfect. I don't think the sides, because it's still gonna look very. It's got very. I think we could raise the edges or roughen up the very edges to kind of make them a little bit less perfect and round. Because now that we've got the paths in place, we can kind of do that without feeling too worried that we're going to mess everything up. Just try and mess it up a little bit to make it look a bit more natural. Because at the moment it just looks a little bit. Well, it did look a little bit fake, artificial. Looks a bit better already. It already looks much better, much better. Fantastic. It's not a major difference, but just enough to kind of look like it was sort of ripped out of the ground rather than kind of out of nowhere. Sense. That bit in a little bit, I think. Let's paint it with some slightly rougher rock in some places. Now, as cool as it kind of looks, if you were to put big rocks on the side of everything, it's not very effective in terms of time and energy. Let's go with like the nice bright green grass. Because the bright green grass, I think, is a lot more vibrant, especially if you're going for a fairy tale kind of land. The nice bright green grass kind of makes it just a smidge more magical. Oh, actually, it looks a bit mossy. You have the rock on the side there. If you have the grass on the side, which is kind of nice. But I don't know if that's what I want particularly. I kind of just want a rocky side. Because we're going to have trees and like bushes and stuff around the edges. Because obviously we're going to need a barrier of some description. Yep, I think it is. So we're going to need a barrier of some description, aren't we? Because you can't just have a sheer cliff next to all those paths and just be done with it. People are just going to fall off, aren't they? People are just going to die and get themselves killed. So maybe we can get, I think we get a bit more light grass in here, maybe. a bit better. Looks a bit more interesting, bit slightly better. We're going to want some bushes, some fences, some doodads, some other sort of... and some benches as well would kind of be a good idea. Perhaps we'll get some benches in first. Vintage bench, sci-fi bench, park bench, adventure bench. Adventure bench, that rhymes. It's kind of like a half rhyme, isn't it? Adventure bench. Adventure. Vintage? Is there a fairy tale bench? You got fairy tale palace thrones. No, don't like that. Barrel bench? Sci-fi bench, not the right kind of bench. Spooky. Vintage, what's that? Vintage bench, pew. Vintage bench, simple. You know what? That kind of feels like the right kind of thing. That's a good place for a bench. Benches need to be near toilets, I guess. So if you're going to be sitting down and you're waiting for your friend or your mother to come out the toilet, then you're going to want a bench. Or your mother's waiting for you. A place to sit down. I don't want a bench over here, I think. Have a nice little view off the edge of the little land. Probably don't need a bench around here too much. Because it's a bit out of the way over here. We've got the balloon shop. Just a memento. Obviously that's the staff room, which I think we should put an arch over. Archway. Building. I think scenery is the right choice. That's... no. Elegant archway pavilion. That's very fancy. Bunting. Oh, that makes it like a medieval kind of fair feel to it. That's quite nice. Arches. Uko archway. Victorian archway. Elegant archway. I tell you what I kind of want. Would be a trellis. Is the kind of archway I'm looking for. But I don't know if there's any of those in the game. The trellises. I mean, I could probably kind of make my own trellis. With... it's a bit tall. Why is that sideways? Why is that not... that just looks ridiculous. Why is it like that? Fairy Tale Palace archway. Wow, that's very fancy. Victorian archway. Fencing. Wooden stake fence. Not the kind of fence I'm looking for, I don't think. Ornate fairy tale. That's quite nice. I quite like those. Ornate planet coaster fence. What are we going to go with? Reball fence. Oh, that's sci-fi. Iron fence. Rough western fence. I kind of like the wooden fences. They kind of have a medieval vibe to them anyway, even though they're western. Wood obviously is a bit medieval. Kind of have a bit slightly rustic. I'm gonna put in just a few fences here and there. Maybe we will actually want like fencing all the way around here, considering... do we want fencing all around? I don't think we do. I think just like the odd fence, just to make it... maybe like a fence. Definitely going to want a fence somewhere over here, because it's very narrow over here. Add in just a few fences. The thing about fences is it's important. You don't want to completely fence in whatever it is you're doing. You kind of want the fences to be like occasional fences, like not like all over the place, just the odd fence. I don't know what it is. Like long, like long, large fences look bad generally. Like, whereas just like tastefully placed fences look kind of nice. They look quite nice. Too many fences and it feels like a prison. Not enough fences and it feels kind of pointless. So just enough fences. These fences are a little bit long for that kind of space. Quite nice. Oh, it's on top of the bench. Good side. To add in the odd tasteful fence. Also going to need to add in some lighting as well. All along the paths. That's something I'm going to have to do for the other paths that we haven't. Maybe some music? We can add a path there. Oh, maybe I don't want it. I don't want to adjust the height. I just want to adjust the rotation. Maybe this bit does want to be completely fenced. We can always get rid of the fence if I don't like it. If it looks bad, get rid of the fence afterwards. Problem is I've kind of those fences weren't exactly spaced to account for starting at one end. Here we go. Around this corner, very slowly, very gently. I mean, I think this should look okay, considering it's just an edge. I should try and be consistent. Yeah. I put fences, I think. Oh, this is the problem. This is the problem with some fences, is you end up... the path isn't quite long enough. I'll put a tree there. That's what I'll do. I'll put a tree to fill that gap. Actually, I don't think that looks too bad. Because it's logical, isn't it? It's a logical fence. It makes sense why it's there. It's like, it's there just to kind of stop people from walking off the edge. Whereas I suppose fences in the middle of paths will be more there to stop people from just walking across the grass, wouldn't it? So put a fence here to stop people from walking across this bit of grass. Makes sense. There will be some trees here and that sort of thing. I don't know where this path is going. Multiple shops do not have a vendor. Hire vendors. Oh. Hire 2. Is that enough? I mean, we're playing in sandbox mode, so who really cares? Oh, we could get the Princess Amelie. Get one of those in. There we go. Where's this path going? That's a good question. You can obviously loop back around, but is there much point in it looping back around? Or is it just going to be like a... maybe like a large area you can just kind of hang around in? A quiet area? Perhaps it'll just be like a quiet little area. Like, there'll be a fence in here somewhere. I'm going to extend out this path just a smidge. Just so we can kind of connect it off. That's a bit weird. It's a bit lumpy, but that's fine. Who cares? You won't notice it too much. I don't really like the way that kind of does that, though. Oh. Kind of an area out the back. I don't know what's going to be here. Should we flatten out that bit of terrain? Maybe just slightly. Just to kind of make the path flat. Oh god. I don't know what's going to go back here, but we could put something back here. Pretty certain that's floating. Go. Oh, we can fit another one in here perfectly. Lovely. Don't know what we're going to put here. Maybe just a few benches. Just a quiet spot to sit down. Nothing super fancy. Statue centerpieces, lights. Fountain base. Oh, I could put a nice little fountain over here. Just something kind of chill. Nothing massively fancy. On top. I don't know. That's quite nice as it is. I don't know if I like the iron bars though. As a oh, pirate fountain. Gargoyles. Oh, water trough. That's quite nice. But that would look quite nice, I think, just in places. Ancient statue. Big gold statues. I think these fountain bases are much bigger than these ones. What about like the bowl shape? Palace fountain. Cider press. I don't know. That seems a little bit on the big side. I think this will do. It's meant to be like a quiet little area just to chill out in. Special effects, water. Okay, maybe not quite that big. quite nice. It's not incredible, but it's quite nice. I quite like it. It's quite nice. It will do. That'll do. What this big area here that's got nothing in it? That we could definitely put something in. I wonder if we could actually fit a small ride in here. A gentle ride. Probably. Venetian carousel. Oh, that's quite cute. A chaeroplane, quite big. Grand carousel. At the big wheel. Big wheel's a bit big, I think, for this space. Not impossible. Radius. Oh yeah, that's a bit big. Skywatcher. That's bigger than I thought it was going to be. I think Venetian Carousel is quite nice. Why not? It's very small, quite cute. Oh, that looks like it'd be a great little gap to fit through. Possibly. No, it's a bit, actually it's a bit small though. We'd have to move the information desk a smidge. Or we could put the entrance like over here or something. Maybe go down. I don't think it doesn't need to be that long. The queue is only gonna be very short. It's not the most exciting ride in the world, and it doesn't need the most exciting queue in the world. It's just meant to be something to have kids to go on while the adults have their lunch. You know? Just doesn't need to be that fancy. Next entrance to path. So we're going to pick a queue material. Wow, okay, so there is literally no other choice. I go that way. Really on ground queue. Yep. Yes, please. Bit of a hill there for some reason. That's fine. It's fine. It doesn't. It's not the most extreme ride in the world. It's just somewhere for kids to go while the adults have their lunch. As I said, literally just a tiny ass little ride. Let's fence this off. A little bit, because 100% gonna want to put fences around this. That float? Yeah, not really. That's fine. Let's fence this off. Fantastic. Because there's a big cliff, and the last thing you want is for your kids to run off a cliff. I mean, yes, they could climb the fence, but yeah, it's no, like, at least you won't get sued if there's a fence. Like, if a kid jumps off it, climbs the fence and jumps off to their death, it's not such a problem if you've got a fence there to at least cover you legally. Little bit big. That's fine. That's fine. Can open this up. Venetian Carousel. Let's call it that. Nice. Ride open. Fantastic. It is the most boring looking ride in the world. Although it does have an 88% Q scenery rating, which is pretty good start, to be honest. We're going to need some other stuff to make it a bit more interesting. Like, maybe like a rock or something. We're going to need some lights. That's another thing we're going to want. We're going to want some street lights. Wrapped cloth torch. Don't think that's quite what I'm looking for. Is there path extras? Bins. That's a good start. Park bin. Yeah, we'll just go with standard bins. Oh god, I'm going all over the place. These are picnic benches. You're going to need some bins in the picnic area. Last thing you want is for people to go littering about all over the place. I'm going to put loads of bins in this area because there is... Oh, his hat's fantastic! Didn't realise that was a shop. I don't think we have a hat's fantastic. We have a couple of just the mementos, which maybe we can get rid of one of them and change it for something else. Like, Cosmic Cow, or Cosmic Cow, Chief Beef, Monsieur Frites. Now, it's not super fairy tale, but oh well. There's only so far you can go with the fairy tale theme, especially when it comes to building roller coasters. And it'd be kind of cool to kind of shake things up and have maybe some other things that aren't necessarily fairy tale. Like have maybe a different area. Right, I think that's done for things I'm going to put down apart from bushes and trees and stuff. I think it's time. It's time for the natural stuff. Rocks. Nature region, deciduous and park. That's really loud. Can we fit a nice deciduous rock in there? Rocks are great for path scenery. They just work really well for like queue scenery. I don't know what it is. They just work really well for that sort of thing. Like, if ever I'm in a queue and there's rocks, it's like, ah, cool, rocks. That's cool. Something slightly different to look at for 5 minutes while you're queuing for the ride that you're inevitably be on for about half a minute. Ivy? That's quite nice. That could look quite nice, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for some trees. You're going to want some shade when you're queuing for whatever this ride is. You actually do bushes. A big ass bush there, lovely. I think a big ass bush there, and maybe a big ass tree, like a big sycamore tree. There, lovely. These are a little bit low, but they're fine. Maybe I want that tree to be a bit bigger. Like a different tree there. That looks fine. You can expect, if you've got a tree, you're going to have branches hanging over stuff. It's just the way things are. Planters. Oh, these are cool. I didn't know these existed. These are pretty cool. Oh, look at those. Those look nice. I like these. A tree guard? Oh, now that's cool. These are cool. Can I put like a birch tree? Beech, birch. Park, deciduous, birch tree. Not quite lined up. Lined up better now? Not quite. Very nearly. It's this way. Better. Look at that. That's quite nice. Right. Enough faffing around with the tree guard and the big tree. Let's just put in some bushes. Gonna want some flowers. Shrubs. I'll go on with a nice bushy flower bush. Flowery bush. That'll add to the way the queue looks, wouldn't it? Just really nice kind of... You don't want people standing in the queue to be stared at by people not in the queue, particularly, either. So, not that it makes any difference gameplay-wise. Realistically, though, like, a queue should have a semblance of kind of separated, like, slightly separated from the rest of the park. Red leafy bush. Maybe we could get like a topiary in here. Is that not bad? Yeah, it kind of does. What we could do is instead of having fence there, we could put topiaries instead. God, that's really loud, isn't it? Holy shit. Turn that way down. Let's head down to me. Well, actually. Whew. Nice. That's quite nice. I quite like that. Looks good. You just like a good way to make things look nice with nature is just add more nature, really. Like, if it looks a bit empty, add more bushes, add more trees. Well, maybe not necessarily add more trees, but certainly add more bushes. It would just help, just kind of fill out the space. Rocks are good at filling out a space as well. Nice, that's good. It curves quite nicely with the path. But really, I probably do want to hire mechanics and janitors. Scenery, maybe like just a big rock here and it will do. A big rock, big ass rock, kind of block up that space. It doesn't matter too much if bushes kind of clip into fences too much. Because they just will, won't they? They just kind of will. Queue scenery rating 100%. That's good. I think there needs to be some more trees around here, but yeah, we are getting there. We're getting there. A big oak tree. We'll put an oak tree over here. Right there. With some of the roots kind of hanging off. You can kind of see them as you come on. You can see that that tree, the island is a real floating island. It's not just any old tree. It's not just any old island, like a bit of rock. Like, you can see the roots holding this rock together. You can see them as you come on. It's amazing what trees can do to really improve an area. Like, just nature in general. Like, it's incredible how much of a difference it makes. Oh, I think these are mainly what the tree guard is for, is the ash trees. Good, maybe just some birch trees. Just to kind of fill in some gaps. Birch trees will kind of be all over the place. If we can get like a sycamore tree here. Maybe a slightly bigger tree. Maybe like a... Ooh. Nice big oak tree. Lovely. Man, this little town, it looks so much better, doesn't it? It looks... Like, we're not done yet, because we're going to add more bushes and that sort of thing. But it does look much better as it is right now. It looks so much better. Let's just put some forest bushes around, just to kind of get a bit of spread on these forest bushes. Some around, and then we can move on to the next bush. Which should probably be, I don't know, like a large green bush. Very similar to the forest bushes. Put some of these around. I don't know. Where could we put them? On there. Looks quite nice. There? Yep. Looks quite nice. Maybe some petunia flowers just in some sort of tasteful places. Near the paths have like little flowery beds. A rose bush. Rose bushes. Yeah, that looks nice. Although, in theory, can I change it out for some dirt? Dead grass, rock, grass, leaf. Really the right kind of... Again, it's not really the right kind of... Like, it'd be nice to have like a nice dark dirt or flower beds. Can we, very cheeky, not quite. Oh, no, there we go. We can be a bit cheeky with the planters. Look at this, look. Changes, so, yeah, that's just the right height for these. Because it doesn't make sense for there to be grass there, does it, at the end of the day? Add to building. No, don't add to building. I don't want it to be grid snap, position snap. Turn that off as well. That's quite a nice bush. That must be from a different location, but it doesn't look too... The problem is I kind of want forest bushes that are slightly less extreme. I've got some tulips. What else can we have? Gladiator. Ooh, looks a bit wildflowery. Dahlias. Sunflowers. Don't really like sunflowers, I'll be honest. Not a big fan. Red floral bush. That's quite nice. Nice, I like that. We're going to want some street lamps. That's something we're going to have to add. Oh, they are throwing the rubbish away. Fantastic. Are there enough bins? Well, there's no bins over here. That's the thing that we need to deal with. Is the fact there's not enough bins along this bit of path here. Or maybe even near here either. I don't think they'll litter outside of the park. And they can't, well, they can't do anything with this anyway because it's technically on stairs. I think we almost are going to want a bench at the top of the stairs because it's a one hell of a hike. There we go. And then we'll also add a couple of bins in here as well. Because why not? It's quite a nice entrance. I think we could... Thing is, I can keep adding bushes basically forever. I feel like there's no kind of limit to the number of benches bushes I can add to this area. I think we just need some lights. What we need is we need some street lamps because you can't have town centre like this without street lamps. I quite like the idea of just the iron ones. They're not medieval, but medievals didn't really have street lamps anyway, did they? Let's change the time to, I don't know, like... Oh, I don't want to be fiddling with my thing. What is this kind of like we want? Or do we want... That's not really... That's just a post. Really in the spirit. I think this is... Even though, yeah, okay, it's not particularly medieval. It's the most kind of in the spirit of it, isn't it? The iron square. It's the most kind of... just kind of in the spirit of it, I guess. I guess we're just gonna put lights all the way around the edge. We add another fence in there, to be honest. I mean, the lights don't make a massive difference, although there's quite... Those torches are making a lot of light on the side of those buildings. Care that much about street lamps? Oh. That's weird. Who knows why? Still fine. I think Twitch is having a... By the looks of it, yeah, Twitch is having a moment. That. No idea. It's just having a moment. Who knows? I'm assuming it's still working. I mean, it is. It does appear to be still be working. The actual things, videos here, still be working. Because we're gonna have to add lights all over the fucking gaff, aren't we? Maybe lights will come later. Maybe we won't worry about lights right now. Maybe we'll worry about those later. Oh, there's a... That's not meant to be there. Let me delete that. There we go. Have I added any more? I think this is good for now. I don't want to spend forever on this. I kind of want to go and do other stuff. Which is seriously having a moment for some reason. As long as it still works, that's fine. As long as it is kind of working, then that's fine. I assume it's still working fine, no problems. So I think we should start working on another island. I think we should go up. I think we should go an island higher up and put like a big ride on it. Up we go. Be that high? That high too? Yeah, I think that's high is fine. And let's just flatten this out, clear out, cut off the bottom. Careful about the other islands, not to kind of edit those by accident. Maybe too. I think it's been a bit high for the Yeah, I also need to be a bit careful about using the big brush too close to the other islands because it could affect them. Maybe it doesn't want to be. Maybe we want one that's not super flat. Maybe it'd be cool to have one with like a little hill on it or something, as this one is kind of currently doing. Not particularly. A bit jaggedy. Although I still want it relatively flat. I still don't know. I don't really know what I would do with slightly fancier. You know, I can edit. Once I've got something on it, I can edit it later on. That's not a problem. Wow, Twitch is really having a moment on my. For some reason. We can edit it. We can make it a bit more interesting later on. I don't think we're ready for a roller coaster because a roller coaster will be something that we add on to kind of go around all the islands and do like a crazy kind of all over the place kind of thing. I think we want a ride, but maybe we want something a bit more extreme. I've got an idea for this one. So it's going to be all rock, but obviously I'm going to need to... What I want to do? I don't want to make a hill. Oh god, why has it done that? I don't want it to do quite so extreme. I do want it to be a little bit higher. I'll tell you what, let's get rid of that. I've got a better way of doing this, I think, than doing it the way I'm currently trying to do it. I think better way of doing it. You get a whack it up and push down. Like, I'm thinking like a crater kind of look to it. Will that work? I don't know. Maybe it will look. I think that could look quite good. I think that could look quite good. Well, once it's kind of, if we make it this entirely rocky. Bit careful about the size of the brush. It's just like a big ass rock. Out a smidge. And then make it stone again because for some reason it just defaults to auto brass on top for some reason. And we're going to want to do it in the middle there as well. I don't know. This could end up looking absolutely terrible. But we'll see how it goes. I was just thinking like a big ass rock. Forge makes sense as being like... Oh, that looks very close and very dangerous. Oh, it's not too bad. It just looks a bit close, that's all. I think we want Dragon Mountain or something is going to be a thing we're going to want. Like, I think this would look better, a bit more jaggedy. Pull this out just as I think it's a little bit thin there. I think this will look much better, a bit more jaggedy, because that's kind of what this. Without any really weird geometry. We'll put loads of rocks on this one. Make it look really rocky. I think the path's going to come off this way and it's going to lead off to like Dragon Mountain in this corner, which would be a big, floating island. Doesn't even, maybe not even necessarily floating. But it's going to be big. Dragon Mountain. At the moment, we're just making the Pillar of Doom. Ah, okay. That's not quite as high an upper limit as I thought we'd have. Okay, that's... I thought we'd be able to go a lot higher with that. That's a bit disappointing. That's... Yeah, that's a bit disappointing, the height limit. I think we're going to have to lower the terrain. We're going to have to really lower what's there already to make these bits seem a lot higher. So obviously, if it's going to be a volcano, like a mountain, we need to pull crazy amounts of terrain out, which is going to take quite a while, isn't it? Mountain, mountain. This is going to look bad at first. But hopefully I can make it look not quite so bad. I want Dragon Mountain to be really big. That's the plan. What is up with Twitch? Why is it having such a moment? Just need to make it look like a mountain, that's all. At the moment it looks like a blobby mess, but it's because it takes... These tools are not fast enough. Seriously, paint, auto paint. Oh. Trying to pull it out, but it's too slow. On 100% intensity, like 100% intensity, it needs to be higher. It needs to be stronger. It needs to do more. Especially considering I want to try and do a whole mountain out of this. Actually, we've got a lot more space in that direction than I thought. We're actually a lot more over to the front of the park than we are to the back of the... How far is we go? About sort of in the middle of the space over there, aren't we? I'm sure this will get better. Just need to wait. We'll get there. $30 meters. Is that it? Perhaps Dragon Mountain. It looks a bit. It's starting to look a bit better, but I still want it to have a bit more to it because I'm gonna kind of want to be able to go inside the mountain a little bit. And unfortunately, the mountain can't float. I mean, maybe if I leveled the entire area, then, or if I flattened the entire area, it might be a bit easier. But that's not quite so easy. Trying to... But a mountain doesn't tend to just kind of stick out of the ground like that too much. I'm trying to kind of give it roots by dragging along out away from the peak of the mountain. Trying to give it like some width at the base. Kind of make the mountain kind of feel bigger by dragging out the base of it a bit more. A lot here that needs... But it's quite a slow process. I kind of want Dragon Mountain to be a volcano. Kind of cool. You go down into the middle of it and you come out of it somewhere else. I don't know. Unfortunately, terrain tools are not that strong in this game. They're a little bit slow. You need a ridge. Mountains aren't just pointy things. As it says in Riddles in the Dark, mountains have roots, and that needs to be clear. Kind of do because they have ridges. Like a mountain isn't just going to be like a sheer cliff face. It's going to have a root. It's going to come down and kind of slope. I'm gonna have to tidy this up because it's the edge of the map. It's not quite as big as I'd like it to be, but that's because you can only kind of go out as wide up to a certain width or a certain height. Like, I'd like this to kind of come up. Actually, we've got quite a lot more height on it that we can give it before it reaches the top. We can give it quite a bit more height. So we can keep going with adding mass to this mountain. God, I wish it was a bit easier to do this. This is so slow. I mean, maybe there's... Unless you can hold down, like... You can hold down control to push, which is quite convenient. Like, I thought Alt was doing it faster, but no. Nope. The only way of doing it is the slow way. Looks a bit like a mesa at the moment. Push that in. I don't mind it being really tall, but I don't want it to be super bulbous at the top because that just looks bad. I kind of want it to get to max height just so we can utilize as much of it as possible. It's looking better. It's getting there. I quite like the sharp drop off. At the back. We're going to want like a ridge or something. Maybe we want to lower down the width then. Sharpen off. Which is, you kind of almost want to. I think we're definitely going to want to show some water flow. Like how is the water how has water eroded this to be the shape it is? So like, okay, so clearly we can have like a bit of a dip there where water has clearly eroded it down to kind of give it the shape that it's got. Like, there's only so much suspension of disbelief you can have. Like, it needs to be kind of founded in based in a realistic way. Like, it can't just be a mountain out of nowhere. It needs to look like it was here for a reason, or something caused it to exist. I'm just looking a bit there. But those textures look garbage from far away, don't they? They look so repetitive. Right at the moment. I think it's okay. I think we're gonna have to. Well, 100% gonna have to keep working on this though. it make sense if like a volcano would be, there happened to be like, it was a volcano, then it would, I don't know, it still looks kind of bad at the moment, but that's okay. Deal with that. Come back to that another time. Can't bother to deal with that right now. Too much hassle. Oh, that needs sorting out. There's a hole in that terrain. Can't be having a hole. Not like that anyway. Like, a deliberate hole, great. Accidental hole that I don't want there, not great. Right, let's see what we could do. Let's increase the length up to like 4. Where do we want this? Where do we want this path to go? I think. Well, what if we? What if we're gonna? It's gonna need to go somewhere, isn't it? Gonna want to go somewhere. You can't just have a path into the middle of nowhere. You can. It just looks a bit crap. What if we just have like a tiny island? Just a tiny island. Because you would, wouldn't you? You'd have, like, if you had like a big, whole bunch of floating islands, you'd have smaller ones, kind of, that you could utilize, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just have. I quite like the idea of the big. Swoopy ramp kind of thing. Problem is though, where does it go from there? What's the point in this big swoopy ramp at the moment? Where does it go? What's it doing? Like, apart from getting to that ride over there, where else is it going? I want to be a little bit lower. It's just a smidge. It doesn't look very deliberate. That's the thing. It's like you've got the stairs and then you go along. It doesn't look like it was custom designed to go from one place to another. Like, it looks like it doesn't look right. So what if get rid of this and do it this way instead? So that the stairs lead up onto the island. Like, it doesn't kind of. doesn't look so bad. It looks better. It looks better that way. It just does. The stairs look more meaningful and more deliberate, because obviously you can only have the path going up at either one of those two angles, either stairs or slope. So why would you, in a realistic world, there's nothing I can do about this really. I mean, yeah, okay, I could have made it a little bit lower, just a smidge. I should have made it just a smidge lower to account for that. It's too late now. But realistically, you wouldn't have you'd just, like, if you were trying to get from one place to another, you wouldn't kind of go up and then along, would you? You'd kind of go up the exact right amount and then it makes it look more kind of deliberate. Which I think is good. I think is the right thing for it to look. It should look like it's a deliberate choice that it goes that way, not it goes that way to account for whatever reason or whatever it's doing. You know what I mean. I know what I mean. Like, it should look like it's designed that way. But a little bit, I think, is fine. Too much, and I think it kind of spoils the illusion a smidge. Right, looks good. I think that looks good. What can we put on this island? Perhaps we can put something else on this island as well. Maybe something a bit more exciting or interesting. I tell you what I'm going to do with. I tell you what I've decided what I'm going to do with the path though. The queue. I want to have come around the inside of here. So you're inside the rock, but you can see the ride. From where you are, from the path, from the queue. Obstructed by what? I don't know, that looks a bit haphazard to me. Again, still looks a smidge haphazard. I'd rather it was a ramp than stairs. That looks better. Smoother, cleaner, tidier. We'll put rocks there to make that look a bit better. That's fine. Where are we going to join the queue? Where's the queue going to start for this? I mean, it could. If I do it the way I'm thinking, it could. Yeah, I'm thinking we bring it all the way around here because bit awkward, isn't it? Because it's not... I don't think this collision box is quite round. There. I think you can have like big windows to look in on the ride from the queue. Or like lava underneath. That'd be cool. Like we could put lava underneath there. How do I add in priority paths? How'd you do that? Oh, enable priority pass. Oh, I need to add that to the queue somewhere. Ah, the problem is this queue is doesn't really support priority pass queuing. Unless I were to add like a normal queue. Nope, it needs to be part of the current queue as it is. It doesn't need priority pass. Yeah, priority pass. Fine. Doesn't need that. It's fine as it is. Well, we can open Forge now. Bit of a hike. It's not too bad. We can open it up now, which is nice. So we can get people on it. Not that it makes any difference, but it means that people can start enjoying the park a bit more. 0% queue queue scenery rating. Wow, bit harsh. Right, let's get some scenery. Some nice rocks. Rocks are good. Nature region, deciduous and park. So big old deciduous. I think it would be quite... It's a forge. There would be lava in a forge. It's called Forge. We can put lava. And that would make sense, right? Bad. Yeah, that works. Yeah, big old rock in here. Direction's best. That way makes sense. Tiny smidge of clipping I can deal with. Like, path clipping, because rocks are going to clip into each other, that's fine. Align to surface. Ooh, that was good. Oh no, that rock's clipping through. That's a shame. Oh, that wasn't rock I just placed. That was rock I placed a while back. Didn't notice. That rock is slightly clipping, like just a tiny amount is clipping through. That looks better. I like that. Nice, fantastic. So we're going to want to add a whole bunch of large rocks in here. Let's see. Big ass rock. Put another one in there. Could we get that down a smidge? Fantastic. Lovely. That looks good. Oh, we could probably put like a tiny ass rock in here somewhere. And just so that there isn't the gaps. A little bit of rock poking through. I do care about that just a smidge. It's the tiniest bit of rock. Yeah, that looks good. Happy with that. Fantastic. What I might do is I might go path skew, path support. Wow. Am I really going to have to fucking do this on the tiniest bits of path? That's making zero difference anyway. Okay, fine. Because I'm thinking we could go special effects, pyrotechnics, fire, large lava splash, colorable fire. Whoa, look at that. Lava pouring, lava falling. Problem is, for us to put lava all over here, it's gonna be an issue. Ooh, that looks menacing. Fire jet, magma panel. Magma panels? Is this how we do it? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, there's a bit of a gap there that needs to be put out. That'll do. Lovely. So we want some of these. We want lots of these. In fact, we want loads of these. That's moved. Duplicate. Move. It has been moved. Right. So we're just going to put down a lot of these things. Kind of give the impression of like lava and fire and all that jazz. We've got plenty of space on either side of the rock face to kind of extend these You kind of clip it into the wall, no problems. Bacchus. I don't think you'll notice any kind of clipping artifacts, and I think actually it would just add to the slight randomness of it a little bit. Oh, it's fine. It looks like it's sizzling. You won't notice that. Ah, I think Twitch has stopped being crashy. I think. Oh, that one's for macOS Big Sur. Thank you. Yep, I think Twitch has stopped being crashy now. Good. Let's just keep placing in magma and all this jazz to make this look like you're kind of walking over a pit of lava. Because why not? I know this could be done more efficiently, but I'm not that fussed. Like, my computer can probably handle it, I feel like. My computer can handle most things I throw at it. I say most things because it can't handle everything, but it can handle most things. And it handles them like a champion. See? This is looking good. I like this. This is kind of what I was... Like a big fire and brimstone kind of island. A little bit light on space there, but it's fine. We're still good. I think it'd be unreasonable to expect these not to kind of clip. It would be kind of cool if they added a liquid, like, for this sort of thing. The lava, like, obviously, like with water. Kind of cool. Gap there that I need to fill in. Not rotating it because I don't want it to... I'm a bit worried that it might change something about the way it looks, or I just think it might be obvious. A rotation might be more obvious. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Cancel. I didn't want to undo those either. I just wanted to move it back. I feel like a rotation might be more obvious than just moving it and clipping. Like, maybe there'd be something very obvious about the kind of the lines or whatever that says, oh, that's a rotated tile rather than just a moved tile. So we're trying to keep it consistent in that regard. This is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. I mean, I think we're pretty much there, aren't we? Yeah, we're pretty much there, but still. I think we need more lava, like lava falls and all that jazz. So nearly there. We might have to consider doing some dips into the rocks a little bit to the point where you can see it. Don't want to go that way. Did go that way because going that way will... It's not the direction I want to go in. Look at that. I quite like that. That looks quite good. This a little bit more into the wall. Oh, look at that. That looks cool. 50% Q scenery rating. That's not bad. That's not bad. Could be better. And it will be better. Just need to work on some more things and it'll be there. Does look pretty cool. I think we just need maybe some more rocks and that sort of thing. Maybe we want because at the moment, to be honest, at the moment this edge looks very ooh, not that big. Very smooth. Just roughen it up a smidge. Actually, I might have to rethink about those magma things I've just placed. That looks silly. I'll have a quick look for any gaps. And there shouldn't be any gaps. I think I sufficiently overlapped it so that actually there shouldn't be any gaps. There's a tiny, tiny gap right there. Just move. Just enough to cover it. Yep, good. That looks fine. Fantastic. And all the rocks are still fine. Yeah, they should be. Should be fine. Terrain. We want to paint it with a more textured rock. Lovely. It's a bit narrow that side for that, and also it seems like a cool idea, but I think the other side would be better for lava. There was the lava pouring. Like that. Much better. Because the problem is that you kind of can't really... Like, it certainly could do it up here. Lava splash. How deep is that pit? We've got a bit more space. So I think we can have a lava waterfall, but you kind of need to be able to see the source of it, I think, is important. Right, so we're going to want to rotate this. Oh, yeah, total advance move 8. Yeah, it seems a bit big. I think that seems a little bit big for what I want to do with it. What I want to do with this. In fact, also it would make more sense, I think, if we kind of cut out a small little groove. For the lava to kind of flow down. Go. Cover that in rock. Scenery. Gonna have a lava plume. No, not a lava plume. What we're gonna have? Lava. Lava falling large. Gonna have a bunch of lava falling smalls. Know what I want? I don't think so, because they're a little bit kind of narrow. I think what we want is we want like lava pouring. Ah, the problem with the lava pouring is the lava pouring responds to gravity, not to direction. Which, actually, I think that's what I want for this, really. Unfortunately, doesn't also respond to physics, which would be kind of cool. Like if the lava would respond to like collisions and that and such. Okay. 58%. I mean, I've done like 3 things. I've done like 3 things in this path at the moment. We're still working on it. It will look better. Will look better. We probably want like a small lava splashes in here to kind of make it look like the lava is flowing down here a little bit. Would be great. How can we do this best? Because the problem is the lava falling. Oh, let's just stick one of those in the middle of here. Occasionally going off. Looks great. Kind of shows off that a bit more. Shows off the lava exploding out and give it a good reason to be falling off. I think I only used the large one, but actually there's a huge one as well. Let's just stick both in there. Make it look really lava-y. That's a flamethrower. That's probably not what you want. Huge explosion? No, not really. Fire, magma, lava pouring huge is probably a little bit too much. I think it's, unfortunately, unlike with water where you kind of have a constant kind of splashiness, the lava I think is going to have to kind of rely on these doohickeys here to kind of give the impression that it's flowing. I don't think they give enough of an impression that the lava is actually flowing though. Lava falling. What is that? Where's that coming from? Oh, that's from this, isn't it? Where's that going? Oh, it's kind of pew-pewing it into the rock. Okay. This could be this could be the right kind of thing. Have a look. But I think this is a little bit pathetic. It's also a bit long as well. Strangely enough, it's a bit much. But it just aren't the right tools to make lava waterfalls. Like waterfalls. I suppose actually it'd just be a lava fall, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be a lava waterfall. It would just be a lava fall. But you know what I mean. It just aren't really the right tools to make a lava fall compared to a waterfall. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. Thanks for stopping by, Halloween Cool. If you have a suggestion, that'd be great. I point this in a good direction. That's the thing. This doesn't really seem affected by physics that much. I think it is. Actually, it doesn't. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. That could look worse. It's a bit on the long side and kind of doesn't really... go in the direction I'm looking for. I think if we get enough of them, it'll be okay. Still pointing a little bit too much in the air. It's moving too much. I think this kind of works. It's not brilliant, but it kind of works. I use the cracked magma tiles, so it kind of looks like lava is flowing underneath it, and I have one or two... Yep, I think I might... Yeah, I'll do that. Actually, that doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to work. I think I will use maybe some of the cracked magma tile. Actually, there, that looks good. Yep, good shout on the magma tiles. I think they do make it look better. Oh, thanks. I'm glad it looks good. That definitely helps. Those magma tiles definitely kind of add to the lava feel of it underneath. You kind of feel that there's lava under there. It feels like you can see lava. It's good. Good shout. Although that's not quite that corner. Corner's a bit dodgy. I think that looks okay. That doesn't look too bad. It does. I like, actually, there's some lava kind of pouring off the edge there. That looks quite nice. That looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that in the end. Got the nice big lava spout going all over the place. Looks pretty good as well. I like that. Looks good. Now we need to add some more lava in places so that kind of add to it a little bit more. I need to add a bit more here so that it doesn't look quite so out of nowhere. I feel like this lava should come from somewhere. Maybe we just add some extra lava falling down here, maybe. I bet that's going off into the sky, isn't it? It is. For some reason, that goes the wrong way. You'd think putting it on the ceiling, for something that says lava falling, you think of putting it on the ceiling would cause the lava to fall from the ceiling. But I guess not. Oh, it does if you don't align it to the surface. That makes sense. Okay, fine. You want to push that up a smidge. Push that up a smidge. And kind of give it... look like it's coming from somewhere. So it's not just kind of coming out of nowhere. Because that's... looks bad in my opinion. If it looks like it's just coming out of nowhere, that's not very good. Push this. We should be able to make the origin of the special effect invisible because it's hard to make. Yeah, they are really annoying. I agree. It's the same with things like waterfalls. Is that you just have to have a lot of them to hide all the splash effect creators, because they're just so visible, and they kind of ruin the effect a little bit. It would be nice if you could hide them. Yeah, that looks a bit better. It looks like it's coming out of the wall. I like that. Looks good. I think we could definitely do some more rocks around here, though. Because those walls are looking a little bit on the flat side. Like maybe just some big boulders. And then maybe we can put some lava kind of flowing off it. I'll tell you what. Definitely put some big old rocks around the edge of this thing. Add to the feel of it a smidge. I don't want to hide it from the ride because that would kind of spoil the effect. If you couldn't see the lava pool from the ride, that would kind of spoil the effect. I'll tell you what we could do. That could come in a bit closer. Lovely. That doesn't look too bad. And maybe like a smallish rock at the front here to kind of give it a bit of a back, give it a bit of an edge. The moment it doesn't really have an edge, it just kind of has a slope, and that doesn't look so good. Yeah, that looks good. If that wants to go a bit further out. That looks alright. That looks fine. Don't want to fuss about it too much, because otherwise we'll be here all day. Basically. I think that rock is too big. That rock kind of blocks the view of it a little bit. It looks too big, too much there. I think we need some slightly smaller rocks to kind of add that edge, but not so big. Kind of blocking it a bit, that one. That one, take it. This rock is... yeah, it's kind of fun. It's what I'm kind of better at. I'm better at decoration than I am with building. Building I suck at, but it can be a bit slow and a bit tedious. I'm obviously always a bit wary of I don't want to spend my entire time just putting down rocks. Fantastic. That can come up a smidge. That looks pretty good. I like the way that looks. The rocks blend in quite nicely with the rocky surface, and it looks good. God, this is going to take literally forever. Better at coaster than decorations. I suck at building coasters. My problem with building a roller coaster is I always end up building them way too extreme, or they just suck. I really struggle to get coasters working well, like a good coaster. I am planning on having some good coasters at some point, but this is going to take a long time. Whether I get there or not in the future, I hope to, because I'm thinking it'd be kind of cool to have a nice coaster that kind of wraps around everything. I do have the colourable fire. What are you thinking with it? We could do with the colourable fire. Nice green fire. Obviously, we can make normal fire as well. Large fire. Fire's good. Where can we put fire? Maybe we could put like a nice flamethrower on the entrance. That'd be a bit extreme though. Flamethrowers might be a bit extreme for the ride. Not too bad. Come up a bit. I don't want to spend forever on this. I could be here all day fiddling around with tiny little rocks. I just want it to look a bit better. I tell you what I think would improve the way this path looks though, is if we have maybe some kind of support. Is there a gap there? There is a gap there. Okay, let me just fill in that gap. Pull that over and that into place. Lovely. Are there any more gaps? A bit glitchy, but no, there's no more gaps as far as I'm aware. Use that and make the colour of the fire black and give off the heat rising effect. Ooh, now that's cool. I'll have to give that a go. Black. Black. Oh, yeah, that does look cool. Black smoke. Oh, now that, yeah, that does look cool. Actually, do we want black smoke or do we want maybe like clear smoke? I will definitely use it near the path. Have it clear? I don't think so. Black smoke's fine. Oh, now that looks cool. I think we can definitely use it maybe in here. To give off some heat from the magma. Because magma's hot, so you don't need so many of these, but some are good. I want that one. It's only going to want one there. Oh yeah, I like this. Cool. I can't select this one. Let me select it, please. Nope, I guess... Can I not select anything? Nope, okay, I just had something. Oh, I think I had that selected. That's fine. All good. I thought I'd broken something. I haven't broken anything. Just, I had something open. Put it under the path. Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. I suppose the heat wouldn't rise up through the path, would it? It would rise around the path. So, I think on either side is better than kind of through the middle of it. It does look cool. Man, that's such a great tip. I will remember that for my underground lava ride that I've done on another map. I have to go back there and add that to it. Nope, I want to copy one of these. Add a new one. Now I had to go around the whole path adding these black flames for the heat effect. But it does look really good. Is it going to overdo it? But I suppose the thing is, magma's hot. You're going to have the heat effect everywhere in the magma, aren't you? You're not just going to have a little bit of heat effect here and there. It's going to be everywhere. Also, it makes the magma sound a bit more intense as well. It's a smaller fire as well. Yeah, I might do that, but I just plop down a bunch of the big ones. The whole area is going to be hot. So I don't think I'm going to need to use the small ones for now. Small ones maybe for some more concentrated areas of heat, like maybe along here. But generally this whole area is going to be hot anyway. So doesn't really. I just throw down all the big ones, and it covers more space. He says I don't have to put down as many. I wonder if this was intentional by the developers or not. Because that would be incredible forethought on their part if it was, or it's just an incredible emergent feature property of the Blackfire. Look interesting, but this turned out better. Yeah, this is. I think Blackfire sounds cool, but this is better. This is, I think, so much better than Blackfire ever could have been. I put that really close to another one. I think I did. It makes the magma look so ripply and kind of busy. I'm glad that I've got a computer that can, well, hopefully my computer can handle this. It should do. My computer's pretty beefy, but there's giving me a lot of kind of particles and stuff going on around here, so it might push it to its limit, but I'm sure it's fine. It's handled, I think, a massive ass waterfall that I've made before, so I'm sure it can handle this. I'll go around one side, and then I'll go back on the other. This looks great. The more you put in, the lower the frames. It's fine. It'll be okay. If it gets really bad, then I'll go around and delete a few. But for now, I keep choosing the wrong one. I keep choosing the wrong arrow. Yeah, if it gets really bad, I'll go back and I'll delete a few. But we'll see. For now, I'm not too worried about optimizing it. Because we can always just reduce the number of people in the park as well. Would also work. Yep. So, are we nearly there yet? I think we're halfway around, aren't we? No, we're just over halfway. There's got to be some... I need to find some other things to put along this pathway as well. At the moment, there's only lava over there, so I'm going to need to put some more lava falls and some more rocks and some more other things all along the path. Would be good. Oh wow, it's already quarter past 10. Don't have very long left. Only have about 15 minutes. That's a shame. I think Twitch was having a bit of a problem this evening, so it wasn't. But that's fine. All good. We'll get this. We'll keep building this area out. Get some lava in. Get some more lava going, and then it'll be about time that way. So shimmery. Makes you feel so much more alive. Like so much less kind of like static lava floor and more like actual lava, which is quite cool. Oh, I keep choosing the wrong height. Oh, the wrong arrow. This was a good choice, this island, I think. Learning more about decoration is always fun in this game, because there are just so many ridiculous things that people have invented and found and discovered you can do for effects. Made a park with one each coaster that is in the game for a total of 56 coasters. There's about 15 frames. Wow. That's pretty intense. 15 frames. God. I don't think I've ever really played on a single park enough to get to that point. Like, I've had a few parks that get a little bit choppy, primarily because I've put so many bushes and trees and other things down, so it's like looking in certain areas kind of gives you a bit of a frame drop. But I think I've ever got to the point where I've had about 15 frames a second. Oh, with no guests. Wow. That's intense. Oh, don't want to go up. Certainly don't want to go up. Down is one thing. Up's another. I wish I had more time to do this. I only have like 2 hours on a Tuesday and 2 hours on a Thursday, and it's kind of like, a flying park is going to take me a while to really get very far if I'm decorating like this all the time. But it's still fun. It's still nice. It's like, just chill. Come on, grab that flyer. I think I'm almost there. Yeah, I've only got a few more of these to place, and then we'll be there with this. And then we'll just have to get back to adding more lava. More lava and more rocks. I have to think if there's anything else that we could possibly add to this, apart from lava and rocks, to kind of improve the ambience of the Flying Forge. Go. One more. Fantastic. I think there's double there. Oh no. Just want to try and make one of each coaster, and their schools are all in green. Oh man, I don't think that would take me forever. Getting a coaster with all their scores in green is a hard thing to do, and I just suck at that. That's not what I'm good at, but man, good job on doing that. Especially some of the coasters. Some of the coasters, I feel like some coaster designs are much easier to kind of go crazy on because they have all these kind of different fancy inversions. It's like, oh, I want to add a loop here. I want to go upside down or around and around. And it's really easy to kind of. I can imagine with the kids coasters, it can be kind of hard to make them exciting enough, I suppose, because they're just so boring. they're just slow and they can't really do much. Add a big ass rock in here. Create like a wall. I was going to say create an artificial wall, but this whole thing is artificial anyway, so makes no difference. Oh, there's another rock there. Okay, apparently I've duplicated that rock. I don't think I like that there. I don't think I like that rock. That rock looks silly. Yeah, that'll do. I think we want some rocks up at the top. If we want a rock in there as well. Kind of cheated on someone, put on a lot of airtime hills in them. That seems to increase excitement. Oh, yeah. I mean, it can be really hard to do it. I think that's the only way you can really do it, though, isn't it? It's just there's just no other way because there's no exciting parts you can use. The only way you can do it is by adding the airtime, like all those big hills. I think one of my best roller coasters I've ever made, I have, because one of the other parks I've made is an underground park. I made a cave and I basically made the roller coaster go all over the walls, and somehow it was green. It was mostly green. It was a little bit on the upper end of the extreme side, but it was mostly green. Oh yeah, I've always found it's better to kind of plan out where the paths are going to go and then build the coasters rather than the other way around, because there's been a lot of times where I've kind of found myself having to build an ugly ass path going all off over the world, all over fucking trying to get through a tiny gap because I didn't really think through where the path was going to go. God, it's hard doing that. I like this lava, looks great, to be honest. Actually, that's really effective. It's worked really well. I like the way that looks. I think we want more of these. I think maybe we want maybe like a little volcano-y looking thing. Maybe we can go down, like a dip here. Lower this down. I say a volcano. Obviously not a volcano, considering this is a floating island. At height markers like the coasters do, it could help. That, yes, that would certainly help, especially in this instance. Be quite helpful. I'll tell you what, terrain height markers, like, I don't think that there's a topographical view. Like, see, it would be quite nice if I'd kind of realised this was slightly higher before I started building it. But if terrain had a height marker, or like a height thing, I mean, with a bit of forethought, I probably could have avoided that. But yeah, there's certainly some more tools they could add to help you with heights, terrain heights, and that sort of things. Or like if you wanted to have like a level. Two mountains that are level on top. Topographical markers would be quite useful for that as well. I don't think I've ever had a use for that, but I can see there could be a use for that. We wanted like two mesas that were the same height for whatever reason. Right, let's put some lava in. Let's get a lava panel. Don't align this to surface because this surface. This is where the lava's starting from. Wants to be a larger one. Poking out a little bit there though. It's fine, we can add a few of these in. Oh, I think I've just adjusted the height of it slightly. Don't really want to do that. Poking through. Okay, that's good. That's a good start. Then we want a lava splash, huge. I think actually we only want a large one, really. Large is fine, maybe, but maybe a few of them. Terrain went with the ride when you make it blueprint. That would be quite nice. Obviously, the problem is in this one is unlike because it's not a height map based terrain or what's the other one, like a voxel based terrain. Actually, no, it is a voxel based terrain, but it's not like a blocky kind of step by step. I would be very impressed if they managed to make a like terrain carryover, but it would be really useful because if the whole ride is based on like the way the terrain is shaped or anything like that, then that would be really useful to have it carry over. But I can imagine that'd be quite hard. I'd be really impressed if they managed to pull that off, though. I bet they could. I bet you could. Like, even if it was just a... I don't want to do that because that's just revealed the thing. Yeah, that'll do. Get rid of that, and let's rotate that. But it's not clipping so much. Well, hopefully so you don't see it clipping through. And actually that lava splash is slightly visible. Okay. People use different colours as well, so they can make it difficult. Yeah. Yeah, it could. I just wish that they had more. They had more support for terrain textures. I get why it doesn't. I've looked into it. It's because obviously using the voxel-based terrain is just not really feasible, sort of from a technological standpoint. But it would be nice to be able to have more than just these textures or whatever you've chosen in the custom map. Like, it would be quite cool to have like a dark mud for like flower beds and trees and that sort of thing, or snow. Like, there's no reason that you couldn't have a snowy mountain or something like that in a deciduous area, especially in a deciduous theme park. Like, I mean, look at Mount Everest, not Mount Everest, Expedition Everest in Florida. That's a snowy mountain. Can't pick your starting colours. Yeah, but it'd be nice if you could just have more of them, like all of them. Because it's just, that way you have the biggest choice. Like, for example, if I wanted to have a desert map and snow and grass, then it's kind of like, because the first time I started an underground park, I started off in desert map because I thought that'd be quite fun, desert, all sorts of stuff. And then I realised I can build underground, and I was thinking, oh, we can have like a big snowy biome under here, but I couldn't because I didn't have enough textures to kind of allow me to have the snowy biome. Well, even when I was looking at it, you can only have, for it to sort of reasonably have enough textures for the one thing you're working in, either deciduous or desert, you kind of can't have all of them, which is just a shame. Anyway, enough ranting about lack of textures, and let's get some more lava going. I mean, this doesn't look like the safest thing in the world, but that's fine. I mean, I'm building a theme park floating in the air. None of this is going to be particularly safe. Nothing about this is going to be good for you. A little bit. I'm going to have to rotate that one, I think. Of red colour, dark rock, ice, something green and brown, but it would be nice as witch mid-game. Yeah. Also, you kind of have to know exactly what you're going to do. That's the problem. Like, you can't kind of halfway through think, oh, this would be really cool, because you can't add it in later on. I do love this game. As much as I'm kind of complaining about it right now, I do like this game. I think we can add some more, not fire, lava splashes. Just need to hide these little emitters. I think we want... Where's the large lava plume? Actually, that needs to be much lower. That's way too high. I think all of these emitters under here are a little bit high. Gonna have to lower them manually. Fantastic. Okay. Can't really tell. Oh, it's fine. As long as you can see it from above, it's fine. Had this game for a year and a few months. Oh, that's pretty good. Man, I've had this game, I don't know for how long. I've had it since it came out, which certainly is a good couple of years ago now, actually. And I've only just sort of fairly recently started understanding more about decoration. Like, when I first started playing, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, building crappy theme parks with, like, a path, no trees, and just... It all looked crap. I mean, it still looks a bit crap. But it doesn't look as crap as it used to look. I find my parks don't look as crap. I've come up with... discovered a few things myself that are quite good. Like, for example, if you put... if you put water... I don't know if I'll be able to. If you... you can... If you make like a circle of earth, working in underground parks, you can put water above stuff and the underside has a mirror effect, which is really nice and really pretty from underneath. So you can see everything reflected from the surface of the water back down, and it looks really cool. Yeah, I suck at making buildings. Like, natural stuff, I'm okay at. I can do nature, but buildings are... My building skills are terrible, which is why I liked building underground, because actually you don't have to build buildings. The caves and the tunnels and the darkness kind of do all the hard work for you, which is quite convenient. That does want to be rotated, doesn't it? Slightly, so we get the sense of kind of movement. The water does not look good. Underground, either does fog. Yeah, no, water doesn't... yeah, problem with underground is water just looks black. It just looks dark and you can't see anything, which is a bit of a shame. I think I want to push that in just a smidge. Really just a smidge. It'd be nice if water looked a bit better underground, but... I hate these things. These things look so ugly. Sunlight or moonlight, yeah. Where's that thing? I can't find it. Underground parks are still my favourite though. Something's just so easy about them. Like, you just dig out a new chamber and boom. Put in your parks and your paths. Yeah, that's okay. I think it's not quite as good as the other one. I feel like the other one looked better. Maybe the pool up here needs to be a little bit bigger. I think. Actually, I can just put some rocks down. That would work. Terrain work, I think, is kind of... I think it's the most fun. I wish the terrain brush was had like a superpower setting, because I'm trying to build a mountain over there, and it takes forever to move that much earth. It looks a bit shit now, but I hopefully it will look less shit in the future. I just gave up because it was just I was getting bored with it. It just takes so long to make such big things, but it's fun. I need some rocks to kind of make some edges. I don't want to rock quite that. Oh, that might work at the back though. How did I have left? I've kind of almost run out of time. I'll finish doing these rocks, and then I'll have to go, because the problem is I work and I have to go to bed at a reasonable time, which kind of sucks. But yeah, just the way it is. Rocks. Fine, let's find a nice one. Here we go. Oh, that looks much better. Looks much better. Made a mountain, it took a long time. Then to make it look natural is pretty hard. Yeah, making it look natural, that's the hard part. That's the bit. It's like, you can make a big lump of earth. It takes a while, but you can do it. Making it look good, that's where the real challenge is. That looks a bit better. Looks a bit more interesting. Made a map. Yeah, I already read that one. Get just a few more rocks in here. Maybe like a rock up here as well, because it's kind of clipping off the edge a bit. The very active, volcanically active rock, this, isn't it? Especially considering it's floating in the air. It's very volcanically active. This path is getting there. It's still looking good. 100%. But now at least the path scenery rating is now 100%. I would say it's not done yet, but it's getting better. Getting much better. Deciduous rocks. Yeah, because that's the colour of the rock texture that I've got on here. I think we can get some more lava splashes with these rocks. I think we can certainly get some more bigger lava splashes in here to kind of emphasize the violence of the lava flow. The violence, like the size of it. Did you lower the terrain or start them up in the air? I started them up in the air. However, in building this mountain, I kind of realised that the terrain height limit is not quite as high as I thought it was. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to kind of probably lower this terrain a bit. But that's fine. We can get to that. We can get to that, cross that bridge when we get to it. That's what I mean to say. Not quite as... Like, I feel like the terrain height limit could be higher, but it's okay. I mean, most people probably don't care too much about the terrain height limit anyway. But, yeah. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It looks very lava-y, which is the intention. I found when building a waterfall for the first time, coasters can go higher than the terrain. That's disappointing. I mean, it's great that coasters can go so high, but it's disappointing that the terrain is so limited in its height. So, I'm making a sky park, but I might have to lower the terrain down here or do something with it. I don't know. But anyway, I think that looks good. I'm not done with this area yet, but we'll have to come back to that another time because I need to go as it's almost 20 to 11. So, thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate you sitting here and watching me place rocks for 2 hours. But it's been fun. And we're back on Tuesday. Usual schedule is Tuesday and Thursdays at 7:30 usually, although I started a bit late today. But I appreciate you sticking around. Follow me here, like YouTube, Twitter. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. And I'll be back on Tuesday. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.